Okay, let me get in touch with my wife because Bug needs out.
I like the dog barking in the background though, unless he's going to
Yeah,
take
that
a
could
big
be.
plop. If he does take a plop, can you take your webcam and show it? Because that would be the epitome
Here,
of WCW 2000.
here. We're on.
Hello.
Hello, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm sorry, what?
A Bug is barking at the door. Would you let him out? I think he's got to go to the bathroom.
All right. No, actually, he's going after your girl.
Okay.
But all right,
All right.
I'll do it.
Thank you,
Bye.
honey. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Is that a classic bit? Tony
No,
calls.
no, that's not a classic bit, but it should be, right?
We just love Tony and Lois together. Like Lois run-ins is a big part of the show, a highlight of every show.
Yeah, but anyway, when she's saying he's barking at your girls, she's talking about the two beagles.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like crazy. Yeah, I don't know what it is about my life, but I've always been. All the women in my life are crazy.
Okay.
Lois, my daughter, the two beagles. I've got 6 granddaughters. I don't think they're old enough to be crazy yet, but it's coming. So I'm a friend of Britt Baker's. She's crazy.
Yep.
She's out of her mind.
Yep.
So there you go. I don't know. I don't know what it is about me and crazy women. I guess I just attract crazy women.
You like what you like, Tony. That's all. You like what you like.
I like what I like. Exactly.
Speaking of liking what you like, Greg Jacobson watching along with us wants to know, hashtag Ask Orange Cassidy. What was your first wrestling event you attended live? Do you recall?
Oh, there was a blizzard sometime in I can't remember what it was, but it was, I think WWF was running Nassau Coliseum, and there was a really massive blizzard, and they weren't sure if the show was canceled or not. And because it was like in the 90s, there was no internet. So we just got in the car. My dad drove, a couple of dads got together and they drove with a couple of, there was like 6 of us, got in a minivan, started driving to the show in the middle of a blizzard and listening to the radio to see if the radio would announce that the show was closed or not. And it wasn't. And I got there and it was like half full. Half the wrestlers didn't make it because of flights and stuff. I'll never forget, I saw Rick the Model Martel wrestle Jake the Snake Roberts in a blindfold match. And
wow.
Like they had the bags over their heads and Jake the Snake would just point around. And then when he was pointing at Rick, we were all supposed to cheer. That's where you knew where he was.
Yeah.
I can't remember that. I mean, sure, someone smarter than me will find out what event that was or whatever, but it's like they just practiced pay-per-view matches, I guess.
Yes.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that was 1991.
I used to go to Stabler Arena in Bethlehem, PA a lot. Watch a Superstar taping.
Wow. How about that? That was good stuff, man. Look at the
I saw Yokozuna wrestle Undertaker in a casket match. Because they were get ready for the pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah, that's what they did back then, right?
Yeah. I saw Brett wrestle Owen.
Wow. Good stuff, brother.
I think the show you're talking about, let me run through the card here, see if we can figure this out. Dustin Rhodes and Buddy Rose, Coco Beware and Sonny Blaze, Roddy Piper and Kerry Von Erich teaming up against Mr. Perfect and Virgil, Rick Martel and Jake Roberts, Dino Bravo and Saba Simba, Tugboat and Barbarian, Earthquake and Jim Powers, and the main event was Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart against Paul Roma and Hercules. Does that ring a bell?
Yep. Oh, that's it.
So that would have been
what year is that?
January 11th, 1991.
Yeah, I was young. I was a young one.
So you were like,
I'll never forget that because I got a little styrofoam 2x4.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
wow. The guy on his phone.
I think that
was probably revolutionary at that time.
Yeah.
2000, you have a cell phone that works inside here?
That's right.
Well, only if you pulled that little antenna up. It's funny. We used to think that mattered. Wait, I can't hear
Yeah.
you. Let me pull this little 1-inch antenna up.
I used to pull my little 1-inch antenna up, Conrad.
That's how you
There
got
it
4
is.
kids.
Hello.
Come on.
Hello.
Hey now.
Thank you for that lead in to that line.
Very welcome.
Hey, these two guys are working hard, man. Jeff Jarrett,
Yeah.
for as old as he is then.
Oh wow, that was actually wow.
Yeah, believe it or not, Meltzer gave this match 3.5 stars. They're going to go 15 minutes and 2 seconds. I think this was probably the highest rated match on the show, which I guess is maybe not that surprising considering that not a lot of the other stuff got a lot of time.
Oh
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, listen, Jeff Jarrett had by this time wrestled a lot. DDP was a great worker, so it's not surprising this match was good.
Not only was it good, but Meltzer would say it was generally considered the best WCW pay-per-view since last year's Spring Stampede in Tacoma, Washington.
Wow.
And of course, Spring Stampede 99 is where DDP finally became the world champion in a real star-studded affair. Randy Savage was the referee, but the other guys in the ring were Sting, Hulk Hogan, and Ric Flair. I mean, that's a big moment for DDP. And a year later, he's still in the main event, but with the chosen one, fresh off of a WWF run.
yeah, I wrestled Jeff Jarrett for the All Atlantic Championship, turning into the International Championship in Canada, presented by Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods. So I'll never forget that. It was incredible. I never thought when I was in 1991 driving to a blizzard, I'd be wrestling Jeff Jarrett, presented by Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods.
You just never know where life's going to take you in wrestling.
You
Do
never
you,
do.
Orange?
I know
Never
this
do.
is super random, but Mr. Cassidy, you've been wrestling a long time. Can you think of another wrestler that's wrestled from, I think it's 1986 until now, never had a surgery? I find that so amazing about Jeff. Like, how do you do this where you never have a surgery? Like, not one.
I was actually thinking about this the other day because the only person that I knew that never really broke a bone was Chuck Taylor.
Hmm.
And because I feel like everybody else has had some type of serious injury at some
Yes.
point. Jericho said he did the arm fracture earlier in his career. But has he done any, unless I'm missing something? I think Jericho didn't have
Wow.
one early on, and that was it.
That's impressive. I mean, I know during the Superfly splash off the cage, Jeff just took that laying on the mat and got a concussion. So I know that was really bad, but as far as just going under the knife, the idea that you could do something for nearly 40 years, this physical, with all the travel and all the bumps and all the, the sweat and the slipping and the sliding and the falling. And I mean, there's no accident that happened along the way that required you to go get fixed up. I just thought was unbelievable. Kudos to those guys.
Yeah, it's a discussion that we've had many times on this podcast. In that, I talk about how the young wrestlers today take a lot of crazy bumps through the table and do a lot of crazy stunts and dives and things like that. But the flip side is they didn't work every day. They don't work every day like they did back then.
Right.
I mean, we had house shows back then, and we didn't have as many back then as we did early on. But there were a lot of house shows, and so you wrestled every night. You didn't have a chance to heal. Nor did we have the medical staff back then that we have right now.
Yeah, I obviously I've never been anywhere else to this level, and AEW is the only thing I've known. But we have access to so many things that to keep our bodies. If there's any little thing, I can go into that training room, and they have something for me. So
Yeah. So the flip side is when I think that the longevity of the younger wrestlers is not going to be as what it was back then. Maybe it is because of all the things at their disposal, so to speak.